Yeah, Kevinem Pearcem, and I'm a snowboarder.
Good. What are you thinking about Vancouver? Is it set yet? You might be on Olympia.
You know, it's cool to have people saying that you're an Olympic hopeful. I think it says a lot, and it's super excited to be going for it this winter.
Now the new 22-foot wall I get off now, how's that going to affect your performance?
The new 22-foot half pipes have kind of changed the way that we get to snowboard, and the way that there's so much more air time, and there's so much more, you know, just overall time, because the walls are bigger, that you really have more time to think about what you're doing and being able to do bigger and cooler tricks. And it's definitely changed snowboarding. It's going to be the first time that we see it in the Olympics with the 22-foot walls, and I think people are going to be blown away at what they get to see.
Bring it! Oh, it's a battle, Dave. All right, come on, let's get on here, baby.
Okay, now this looks good.
I'm getting thrown down. Oh, watch this. That's a lot.
Fabio's here.
Fabio. Get in here.
Our parents believed in us, really. They've given us a sense of belonging. Yes. Thank you, David.
Kevin is the best snowboarder and the best player.
First day of practice.
Hey, what up? Kevin Pearcem, just hanging, friends group. It's day one, Aspen. Got the pipe to our show.
Are you ready? Are you scared?
Curve in the bottom here. How is it? I'm a bit frustrated. There's a curb. It doesn't feel as good as I was hoping, to be honest.
Curb your enthusiasm at the bottom?
Yeah. Yeah, it's bumpy on this wall, but
We're out here trading for the Winter Games 2010.
road to Vancouver right now. This is the road.
This is the road we're taking. I don't know if it's the correct road, but fly out to Colorado, get word. It's the best pipe ever cut. It's a pretty big disappointment when you show up.
Are we going or are we staying?
I really don't think there's any point of staying here.
Let's just decide right now. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
We're going to Park City. Going to Park City tomorrow!
The conclusion of the one-day Aspen trip.
Pipe sucked.
And we're out. Peace. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Stay with us, Kevin.
You're good, Kev. All good.
You guys did awesome. All right.
That might have been the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, definitely one of the worst. Maybe at the hospital in, like, they said 9 minutes before they
caught his toe edge and just boom like that, like so fucking hard, and no hands to cover his face. And he hit right away. I fucking knew that it was bad.
Just gonna say a prayer.
Say a prayer, that's all you can do.
American snowboarder Kevin Pearce remains in critical but stable condition tonight after a training accident yesterday in Park City, Utah. Pearce was considered a favorite to make the U.S. Olympic team.
I know places we can go, babe. Coming home, come unfold, babe. And the hound fade here, babe. No, the hound hurt here, babe. So come and wait. Now won't you and wait on me. I know places we can go, babe. Coming home, come unfold, babe.
Come on, Kebs, come to Dada. Come on. How old is he, Mummy?
Almost 11 months.
11 months. Maybe you're gonna fall. Don't do that.
That's my Kevin. He's on the go all the time. This is Kevin Pearce. He's 1 year and 1 week old. And his biggest problem is he doesn't really know how to get down. So when he gets up there, it's a little bit upset.
All this fussing and fighting, man, you know I sure can't stay. Now, baby, back and leaving truck, you know we got to leave today. Just exactly where we're going, I cannot say, but we might even leave the USA. 'Cause it's a brand new game I wanna play.
Oh shit. Oh. A little bit bigger than I thought. You gotta go faster, dude.
How old are you, Shaun?
9.
Now, Shaun, every time I've seen you ride the half pipe, which I saw you at camp, and I saw you board day last year in the U.S. Open, you absolutely amaze me. Now, I want to know specifically, how do you do those lovely 360s?
Well, you gotta crank your arms back, and then once you hit the wall, you swing them forward, and then once this goes, then your legs will follow.
I was born with a heart defect, so I had a couple surgeries when I was just 1 year old, and they said I wasn't going to be good at sports, but you put that obstacle in front of me, and I want to overcome it. I was competing in the amateur events, and I was winning everything, every single year, and it got to the point where I was getting, like, vibes from the families and the kids and the people that I was competing against, and it wasn't fun anymore. I went pro when I was 13, and everybody was in their, like, mid-20s. I was trying to like play Pokemons and stuff while everybody's out partying, and I just didn't fit in. I met Kevin when I was about 9, 10 years old at the US Open in Vermont. It was like this tradition, and it was myself, Kevin, and this was a basketball game that would take place, and it just became like our thing. Every single year we would all get together and just have a great time. We'd go to the candy store, sugar plums, we would do those things. I was always focused on Kevin's brother, because I thought his brother was the one to beat at the time. And Kevin just kind of came out of left field and did the younger brother move and became the better rider.
Yeah!
That's so easy.
So what do you think about that?
I didn't even think I would.
I would say Shaun was much quicker to kind of get the recognition and the success, whereas Kevin didn't have that at an early age, so he was purely doing it for the love of the sport and because he saw his older brothers doing it.
At just 8 years old, Kevin point-blank confronted board-making pioneer Jake Burton.
I asked him if they'd make me a kid's board because there was no such thing at the time, and then a couple weeks later he came back with this.
When I was 18 and he was 15, he persuaded my parents and somehow got his teachers to allow him to move out to Mammoth with me, and that really allowed him to snowboard full-time.
In 8th grade, I started taking the winter term off. And for the last 3 years, I was able to homeschool, where I did a lot of school in the summer. All winter, I was able to just snowboard.
He would be up before everyone, out the door before everyone, and sometimes riding cold days without us because it wouldn't be good conditions, and he would continuously do that day after day, and he worked harder than anyone, and I think that paid off for him.
Kevin Pearce, raised on maple syrup, sharp cheddar, weaned on the hills of Vermont.
This guy right here is slaying it. 17 years old in snowboarding. It's all about what you're able to deliver, and Pearce is man-sized on his delivery.
Kevin Pearce came out of nowhere, taking the win there.
Kevin Pearce, you're 17 years old, out here doing the slopestyle. You went up against some big competition today.
The last couple of years, it was like you go on these trips and like you got to pull out your school books, and it's so hard to be focusing on snowboarding and focusing on school. And so it's a big weight off the shoulders to be done with high school and just like to have that part of your life over.
Very accomplished slopestyle, half pipe as well as quarter-pipe rider. Whoa! Damn! Wow. Great 540 right here. Yeah! This is the tightest run we've seen yet.
This whole year's been pretty insane. It started off in New Zealand. I won that. And then from there, it got pretty crazy.
Another of the new crew dazzling pipe fans all over the world this season is Kevin Pearce. Pearce has it all, the McTwist, a 900, a 1080, and astonishing amplitude.
There's definitely a lot of danger in it, especially when you start getting these 22-foot half-pipe walls. You get rewarded by the judge by the higher you go, because it's so difficult to do those spins high. The first time I came here, I didn't make it through pre-qualifiers, and last year I made it to finals, so I've been happy on how far I've come since I've started with the US Open.
Let's give it up for Kevin Pearce!
This whole French crew is just this group of kids that we got, you know, rolling together, traveling and having a great time. Danny, Mason, Jack, Luke, Scotty. Shaun's with us a bunch of the time, which never hurts. Took the I out of it, kind of makes sense. No I in friends. Having that group of kids that you really get along with makes it a huge help.
Come on, Kevin! You're so rad! Yeah!
Back to the men's half-pipe finals here at the second event. Reached up to the U.S. Snowboard Grand Prix.
What are you all doing up here?
Running German, I'm winning.
Final standings, Kevin Pearce wins.
When I was 19, that was the Olympic year, it was 2006, and everything I competed in, I had an undefeated season.
Shaun White gets that much closer realizing his gold medal dreams.
And this is where Shaun wants to be. Shaun lighting it up with a frontside 1080. All he needs to do is land this last trick. Immaculate run from Shaun White.
Shaun White, incredible execution. And a visibly elated Shaun White.
Competing against Shaun is basically competing against a robot. It's like playing chess on the computer and setting it to expert. You know, you'll never win. And he proved that by winning every single contest of the Olympic year. And then the following year at the Nippon Open in Japan, the miracle happened and Shaun White was not on the top of the podium. It was Kevin.
Kevin beat Shaun, it was just like, wow, did Shaun fall? I was like, no, Shaun landed his run and Kevin landed a better run. It was just like, wow, that's insane.
Well, I thought that there was only 2 runs, so I gave it my everything in the second run, and no, it's all right.
Shaun got salty about it. He was all wasted, like, after the contest, and, like, me and Danny and Kevin were all, like, sharing this room.
Shaun kind of got a little pissed off with a fire extinguisher and a little beer out of the vending machines in Japan.
We get up there, and, like, both the rooms are, like, cracked open, and there's just, like, fire extinguisher shit, like, everywhere. Like, dude, on my, like, I had, like, a relatively new Mac that was just, like, fucked. So, Shaun, if you see this, you know me, my computer.
So at that time, Kevin was actually living at Shaun's house, and Shaun called up his mom. He told his mom to put Kevin's stuff
on Shaun's front porch, including $30,000 in yen. And so after that, it was just this kind of competitive blood between the two. And it was like, all right, you want to kick me out of your house? I'm going to take this out on you in snowboarding.
Are you guys are friends?
Let's not talk about that part, that side of things. We don't need him in the show.
It's all good.
No, we don't. I don't want to talk shit.
Moving on.
No, we're not very good friends at this point.
Oh, really? Okay. We can skip it. I was just trying to get a feel for. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm trying to like.
No, I know.
Kevin Pearce.
For Shaun White.
So Kevin started winning all the big air contests, slopestyle contest, half-pipe contest. He beat Shaun. It was kind of like this miracle year for Kevin, and we were just kind of like, where did that come from? You know, because he was always like, you know, we were all neck and neck with him, and then all of a sudden he kind of just flipped the switch and was like, all right, game on.
I remember going to Munich Air and Style, and we were paired up first round. I landed like the best trick I could do, and then Kev outdid me, and it was just like, Kev's gonna kill it. He's making so much money. He's making like 400 G's or something like that in like 3 months. You know, it's like, it's sick.
I'm speechless.
Kevin Pearce, USA!
Heavy drop in after Shaun. He did that front 12, so I knew I had to step it up, and it worked out.
Kevin Pearce, you are working European
perfection.
For a while there, it was just this like back and forth. We would see each other at competitions, and it was just great to know that he was pushing it as well. You know, we shared the same talent. It's such a rare thing. It's such an exciting time for us.
Bottom of the European Open, half-pipe finals. Just finished up the third run. Was able to put that one down. Shaun was in first and just snuck in there. Woo, I'm happy, man. Great day, great day.
Holy shit. Holy shit, did you read the caption? This is not Shaunem White, but Kevin Pearce might be just as good. What? That is so sick.
This kid, he has given Shaun a run for his money. Here we go. Giant frontside air. Here's a big McTwist, stomps that down. Cab 1080, beautiful stop. The crowd is starting to ramp up in volume. The bar has been set. Shaunem White right now about to take his final run. Kevin Pearce trying to stay calm, cool and collected, but he knows that Shaun is out for blood. Here he goes. Here comes 10. What he had problems on. There it is. Pearce's 10s were bigger. Yeah, he did not go as big. What is it going to be here, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be a nail biter. There's Pearce's reaction. Here's the score. A 91.66. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all, but I just think Kevin's was a little bit better.
You know what, though? We were so gunning for you, man. So gunning for you.
Thanks,
When's
man.
the next time you can just beat this guy?
Hey, I beat him last week. That's not
I know. I want you to beat him.
Come on, he's good.
Week after. I know.
I'm working on it.
Going into the Olympics, Kevin was the main rival for Shaun. That's I think what made Olympics so important for Kevin, was that he was the guy to beat Shaunem White. And Shaun took it to that next level and had an entire bowl from the mountains that they avalanched. So all the snow came to the bottom. They flew everyone out there in a helicopter, dug this pipe in the middle of, I mean, it was the raddest thing ever. Like $2 million worth of snow moving and avalanches and heli cost. And then no one was allowed to ride it but Shaun.
I knew that I was going to be expected to do so much media and so much stuff that I'm like, hey, we should build a half pipe where I can actually go ride without dealing with people. And then very last minute, we're like, hey, let's get some sort of foam pit or something like that. Let's just try something new, because a lot of the guys in the motorcycle world are doing that.
And as soon as we heard about it, we're just like, oh, great. Like, as if he wasn't good enough. Shaun takes it very seriously. He had his girlfriend sign a non-disclosure agreement to not let anybody know about the tricks he was learning.
When Kevin was like, well, now we need to go build a private half pipe and learn all these tricks if we want to even, you know, be on the same level.
And then Kevin signed with Nike. They promised, like, okay, we'll make a pipe happen for you. And Kevin invited all of us. And that was the really big difference between him and Shaun. Kevin was like a friend, and Shaun's this machine athlete who has one goal only, and that is to win.
We're out here in our little secret location, building a half pipe for Kevin Pearce.
Kevin was the first person to bring the airbag to snowboarding.
What I was imagining is we just cut that right there, and just set the bag there. So these are 22.
He had this vision of building a half pipe and then cutting off the end of it and putting an airbag at the bottom. The way progression is and evolution, the sport has evolved to the point where it's getting so ridiculously dangerous that it's necessary to have a foam pit and an airbag to be able to learn these tricks without getting seriously injured.
Every mountain has one now, but that was a crazy concept to us at the time. It was literally a chuck fest, and you know, like anything you could think of in your head, you would try in this airbag. Just opened up a whole new spectrum of tricks. The trick me and Kev were trying to really dial down was that cab double cork.
Moving forward in this year, it's gonna be crazy seeing, you know, how much half-pipe riding changes, and it feels like if you don't have one of those double corks that you're not really gonna have a chance.
Kev tried the cab double course into that airbag probably 100 times before he felt like he had the motion to try it in the half pipe. And then he tried it in the half pipe and like fell super hard, but went back up.
That whole week was just dedicated to learn new tricks. You know, the goal was to learn some double corks, and you know, we got a couple down, and then, you know, this was one of the last days that this happened, and as you can see here, it was pretty bad, but I was lucky. It ended up being a pretty severe break. You know, I had all these plans trying to get ready for the Olympics, and it's kind of slowed it down, but we still got some time, so it shouldn't be a problem moving forward.
So then from that summer, you know, that was just all like recovery for Kev. So Kev was like biking a bunch. He was like down to like 3% body fat.
It's not gonna happen.
Like he looked like a crackhead, you know, he was just like so strong.
The whole pressure of the Olympics and the hype that was on Kevin, like as the top pick for the Olympic team, was just getting to Kevin's head. So Kevin, instead of getting a snowboard coach, he got a mental coach because he figured he knew snowboarding more than any other snowboard coach did, so he'd be fine on his own without one.
His mental coach would get into his head and just make Kevin feel like he is Hercules and can do anything.
We all wanted to do well, but not like Kev did. Like, he really wanted it, and he really was working for it. With everything he ate, he was just like, I would eat a pint of ice cream at the end of the night or something, and Kev might look at me like, nope.
Everybody's back, you know. I don't take a fat kid. I'm not stressed out. I eat when I'm stressed out, okay?
How do you deal with pressure?
I guess I try and block it out as much as I can and focus on the things that matter. And try and not focus on worrying too much about beating everyone else or falling. Don't like to think about falling. I think Aspen's going to be a huge opportunity for us if we can make that pipe happen and just have our crew riding there. I've been trying those double corks. They've just been giving me the hardest time. I don't feel that confident yet, so that's kind of been a battle for me.
Curve in the bottom here.
We're going to Park City. From Colorado, we ended up driving to Park City. It was perfect. The pipe was great, the weather was great. It was my brother's birthday. Everyone was feeling great.
So it's New Year's Eve, sunny day, everything's perfect.
Did our stretching, Kev rode his bike.
I'm on the bike, and it was good, you know? Everyone woke up a little hungover, except me. I was training. And yeah, pipe was good. Way better than Aspen. Sorry, Aspen, but it sucked over there. And day's only gonna continue to get better.
I was sitting at the top of the half pipe with Kevin. It was the first doubles that we were gonna try in a long time. I remember both of us being super nervous. And we were just nervous. You know, it's always scary to do the first double cork, you know? So me and Kevin do like a little rock, paper, scissors shoot. And Kevin lost, so he dropped in. Kevin tried the trick. Came very close.
We look up and I see Kevin do his cab double cork and just not catch anything but his face.
I happened to look up and I'm just like,
oh my God, that was so bad. It was a perfect storm of falls. Like, it couldn't have been anywhere. I started hollering for ski patrol. I said, hey, like, we're gonna need a helicopter up here.
I'm up there at the top of the half pipe and I'm like, all right, Kevin, get up.
He was just out.
You know, he was blood coming out of his mouth, his nose.
Kevin is just like shaking, like when you pull a fish out of water.
So we all just started talking to him. Stay with us, Kevin. We're here. It's gonna be all right.
We had to like put a tube down his throat so he could breathe because he wasn't breathing on his own.
Do you know what are they saying?
Well, when we went up there, his eye was totally swollen. They say he blew his pupil out, which is a sign of a massive head trauma. It's just not looking good, man. He's been out for 30 minutes, knocked out.
I was in our house in Vermont, and the phone rang, and it was my friend Ty, and he was at the pipe, and he said, Kev had a bad fall. And he was like, you need to be here.
The worst was the doctor called while I was still in Norwich and said, we need to put an extraventricular drain in your son's head, and we need your permission to do that. And I had no idea what he was talking about.
Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you so much. So, they say that they're gonna do the hole, and then they put like a thing that like sucks out all the blood and the fluids or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna take him out of, the sedation will be off, and they're gonna try to wake him up. They don't know if he will wake up or if he won't wake up. And then they won't really know how much damage is done to the brain for another 3 to 5 days. So we won't be able to see him until his family gets there.
We flew through the night. We got into Salt Lake. I remember driving through the street to the hospital, and it was New Year's Eve.
Walking into his room. You could just tell from, I mean, he didn't look like Kevin. He had 30 tubes in him, and he looked like he was dead.
Just seeing him there, lying there, was by far the worst thing that's ever happened, I've ever seen. Or it was just, it was just numbing. It was just that, you know, that boy who could do anything.
And the nurse said, it's really okay to touch him. And it was really lucky that she said that, because I wouldn't have known if that was okay or not to touch him. I remember the doctor saying, do you want to come see the scans? Like, so we sat down in the middle of the night looking at these computer images that really didn't mean anything.
We had no idea what was going to happen, whether he was going to live or die, or if he did live, what his life would be like. I would constantly watch the drip, which monitored the pressure in his brain. And, you know, the doctors had said if the fluid is clearer, it's better. And I would just, for weeks, just watch that fluid. I think it was an email from somebody saying, you need to be prepared for the Kevin who comes back not to be the same Kevin.
Get well, Kevin. Snowboard as soon as you can. You're great. I'm a good fan of you, a big fan.
We're holding your side during this competition. Let's go.
Holding it proud.
Stay strong, Kevin. We miss you here, man. We're all pulling for you.
Hard to ride pipe without you.
Just want to tell you I love you, buddy. This one's for Kev. Miss you out here.
We love you, Kev.
Kevin, stay strong.
So I hope you get well soon.
You know, you can pull through. We're rooting for you.
We love you tons.
I love you, buddy.
Okay, we're gonna move you now, babe.
We are on our way with Kevin
from neurocritical care to neuroacute care.
After how many days?
After 26 days of being in intensive care. This is a big day for us.
No.
Making moves, making progress.
As he started to make any recovery, I mean, I'll never forget when I was sitting with him and I was holding his hand and he moved his finger in the palm of my hand.
We were like, yes, like he moved his hand, you know, and then he'd open his eyes. But you could tell like he'd open his eyes, but it was as if he wasn't even looking at you.
How you doing?
You know, and then he would pinch with his right hand, but his left hand wouldn't work. So then we were like, you know, is he paralyzed? And then he'd get a blood clot in his arm, you know, so it was just constantly new hurdles to get over.
There's very little change, and then after that, it felt like there was like this amazing ladder of progression.
He still wasn't talking, but I would play a few of his favorite playlists, and then I played The Believer by Neil Young, and he started mouthing the lyrics. We were like, yes, like he's somewhat aware of what's happening, like he's able to sing this song, which we didn't even know he was listening to.
Do you really take precautions?
You learn how to crash, you wear helmets, you wear padding, you do what you gotta do, but you kind of learn along the way how to handle it.
Okay, but sometimes accidents happen.
Right, absolutely, and we're all thinking about Kevin Pearce.
We actually heard that there was a little bit of movement there, that he was able to do some movement today. That was the latest word.
Shown up to the stand, push up, extend, extend, extend. Good, tighten up the foam sheets.
Okay.
Bring your head up,
Your
forward.
chest up this part, Kev, up, yep, up to look at Duffer.
Now don't overextend, just stand up nice and tall, okay?
We were there at the hospital and another family, very like our family, had a son who had a skiing accident.
So they were constantly asking us questions about where Kevin was and what he was going through and was he improving here and there, and we were fortunate to always say, yeah, like every day has been an improvement.
Unfortunately, he didn't make it. His name was Mark. It's just a total luck of the draw, I think. There's no reason. I mean, he was in the same hospital with the same team and had a wonderful family. He had all the same things that Kevin had.
You know, we were sharing the same waiting room with them. We were sharing food with them, you know, and then
Kevi, another great day, huh? Did you have a great day today? Good day. Yeah. Great day.
Kevin Pearce is a miracle
Look
man.
at this, Kev. Pierce be with you.
Pearce be with you. You got some fans, don't you?
These boys.
You got some fans. Do you have a nickname?
Do you know your nickname, Kev? You don't? KP.
KP.
Yeah, I would be completely lying to say that Kevin's injury hasn't affected me. I mean, I think about it quite a bit. I mean, I was standing there before the Olympics trying to learn these tricks, and Kevin's in the back of my mind. I couldn't shake it. And everywhere you would look, there was these stickers like, you know, like I ride for Kevin. You know, I just, you know, I couldn't really escape this feeling of like, you know, what if? What if I'm gonna crash in this next hit?
Last night, there was a heart-stopping moment when America's snowboarding superstar Shaunem White endured a scary crash. Snowboarding superstar Shaunem White on a practice run at the Winter X Games, launching a double McTwist 1260 and coming up frighteningly short.
It's been a wild night for me. I mean, hitting my head didn't help anything, and I've been seeing stars.
How you feeling?
I want to cry.
You want to cry?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. Because I miss Kevin so much.
You do?
Because Pete. How are you? My name is David C.P.S. I have a disability called Down syndrome, but some people call it up syndrome because I am up kind of guy. Well, first question about my disability that I want to say is that I don't like it. I hate it. Yeah, I don't like it. I hate it. I want my disability to go away, not come back. I know that I have it. It's really hard to have it. Sometimes I feel stressed out about it, and sometimes I feel anxiety about it too. I just go up in my room, I hang out there, I cry sometimes, and I book up, come downstairs, and move on, and different day.
After David was born, the midwife said, "We need to tell you that your baby has Down syndrome." And I just didn't know if I could do it.
Say hi, Rosie. This is David.
I remember a doctor coming in and said, "You know, kids with Down syndrome do really well in the Special Olympics." And I remember thinking, that is so great. And that was like so important to me to hear something positive.
Good morning. What morning is it? So David is going to be competing in the what events today in the Special Olympics?
Downhill on chairlift.
Downhill on the chairlift?
Yep.
Whoa. This is Pia Pearce, the mother of the Olympian.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to be with David Pearce this morning as we prepare for the Special Olympics of the year 2000. This is the greatest skier in the history of the great Chico.
My
There we go. David's coming down. He's doing great. Flying down the mountain. That was a great run. 46 seconds, Dave.
Is it fast?
Yeah.
Is it like really fast?
Very fast.
Oh, good.
I say you have a medal.
Oh, great.
There we go. Our first place finisher from Upper Valley, David Pearce.
The incredible thing about David is you have to put out an enormous amount of energy. We always said it was like he was equal to 5 children. But you always got back exactly what you put out. I wouldn't have David any other way than the way he is. I mean, I wouldn't swap him for any child in the world. He's absolutely perfect.
More medals! Yay!
Having David has been incredibly valuable and important. And same thing when Kevin was first hurt, it was really, I needed to hear all the things that were going to be good, not for people to feel sorry for us.
My mom told me that Kevin was in the hospital. I was emotional. I was afraid. I was scared because I know that I might lose him. I don't know what I'm.
Hey everyone, thanks for all your support. I'm doing better. Walking around. I appreciate everything that you guys have done. And keep it up. And the square and the X.
Yeah! You ain't got nothing! I dropped everything I was doing. I quit my job. and I was determined to be by his side for as long as it took for him to get better. It felt really good because a lot of the times in the hospital I'd see other patients without that support. I knew what worked for him and not necessarily all the therapists did, so it was easy for me to say, let's just turn this to a little competitive game and he'll want to do it. Is that the best finger? You think you go that way, it's bigger, right?
Oh, get in there.
Okay, let's talk about Shaun White and his tricks. We've seen the back-to-back double corks so far. But the opener of his run, well, that's not going to be too shabby either. Oh. Huge straight air for Shaun, setting the momentum for the rest of his run. Massive double cork. Shaun's moves right now are so much higher than the other riders. This is unbelievable. Shaun White just set a new bar here in the halfpipe finals.
What are we doing, love?
I'm watching the Olympics, Angel.
What's Kevin doing?
Snoozing.
Very excited.
Shaun White, of course, back-to-back gold medalist, repeating his feat from Torino. Reaching new heights in his sport and enjoying every minute of the ride, Shaun White.
Life in the hospital. Kevin's really sick. He's having a really hard time. And Ellery's been such a martyr helping him out.
Let's get up. Let's get up. There's a skier, C.R. Johnson, who had contacted me. He had had a traumatic brain injury, and all he wanted to do was talk to Kevin, but Kevin was still in his coma. And so CR would just send me like page-long emails, just repeating himself and trying to be like, I want to talk to Kevin, nobody understands this unless you go through it. And then while Kevin was still in the hospital, CR got another traumatic brain injury and died.
Professional free skier C.R. Johnson was killed yesterday in a horrific fall in California. He was 26. Johnson had competed in the Winter X Games. He had a remarkable return to skiing after suffering a brain injury and another skiing mishap 5 years ago that left him in a coma.
I couldn't believe it. This is real. It's real again. But that could happen to Kevin in an instant. Right after the accident, all Kevin would talk about was, I want to be a pro snowboarder. I want to go do cab double cork. The trick he fell on. And that really bummed me out because I was like, you don't know what you've put us through.
I see problems down the line.
I mean, I'm a professional snowboarder, and I didn't want Kevin to snowboard again. It would just make me cry because I was like, I don't want you to do this.
On February 22nd, I asked Kevin to draw a person with all the parts, doing anything. I don't know if you can see his person down there. It's not his best artwork piece, let's just say. On 15th of April, draw a person. And this guy's got a body now. Hands that go where hands go, legs that go where legs go. There's still some things we're working on. Getting more aware of your left side. You drew the right side of this guy's face. And some things are a little off, but he's getting better, he's getting there.
I would just like to toast how much better I have gotten and how much everybody has helped me in here and how amazing the progress has been.
Kevin, that was excellent. I think pretty much just your toast just shows the progress you've made.
Okay, so moving forward, how hard do you see that I can hit my head?
So I'll hit it.
You must really like it here if you want to come back down. That's the question you're asking. When can I come back?
All right, that's it, baby. 3 months in Craig and I'm out. Later.
We're here.
We made it!
Kevin went back to live in Vermont at 18. It was a lot for me. So we broke up. He was so good about it, he fully understood. He's one of the greatest guys I know. He's inspirational, hard worker. There's nothing bad to say about him. I wouldn't change what went on between us. I wouldn't really wish it upon anyone.
Hey guys. Hi. I'm here to talk to you guys about the importance of wearing helmets. I was training for the Olympics and hit my head really hard. I'm very thankful that I was wearing one of those and that saved my life. After it first happened, I really couldn't see anything out of this eye, so it was kind of scary. I thought I might be blind out of that eye for a little bit, but now it's been coming back, and I still have to wear glasses that are kind of funny looking.
Do you think you want to beat Shaun White?
I think that is a great question.
All right, I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of snowboarding this season.
What happens is you just catch a toe edge. I think that in a stage where you're recovering and your brain isn't at a place where it can tell you what the right decision isn't, it's good to take advice from a family.
How long am I going to take this advice for?
I don't know.
Or how much am I going to have to take this advice for until you guys will just let me do my thing and trust me? I feel like there's no trust in this family of what you guys think. What you guys think I can do.
And you look at it as trust. And we look at it as risk. And they're very, very different, Kevin. If you do injure yourself, is it fair on your mother and the family to be put in the position of taking care of you for the rest of your life?
Concentrate. Easy squeezy. So scared.
Yo, check me out. I'm 7 months out of my injury and I'm just ripping around on this Segway. And it is mad fun.
Slow down, dude.
This is the wake surfing. So this was my first time ever doing it, and
Boom. I can't let you do that. I will not let you do that. I mean, I can't advise you to do that. You can't take the risk. So you've been hurt for 1 year. Your brain is healing, but your brain can't get injured again. And the major inefficiencies from your injury come from this white matter. These wires can only handle so much force. The harder you whip your head into the water, that's a concussion. You actually could die. You could have brain bleeding that's fatal for you.
but I kind of don't understand what you're saying because I felt totally fine, and a lot of things that I'm going to continue to do with my life are going to be risky.
I understand that part of this reevaluation may be disappointing. Okay, you came here because you wanted to get permission to get your life back. And, you know, we're not there yet. Your primary concern was your memory. And what I saw in our appointments was that even during those hour times, you forgot what you said.
So one of the approaches as a trial is going to be putting you on a memory-enhancing medicine.
My memory obviously doesn't
It's going to be your memory pill.
It obviously doesn't suck that bad. If I want to remember it, I'll remember it. If I don't give a shit about it, I won't remember it.
That's exactly right. And so I would say that the other thing about this medicine is it makes you give a shit.
Last time we were together, you were like, yeah, at the 1 year mark, it's going to be fine for you to have a beer and whenever, just obviously don't get drunk. And then I kind of also felt like, I obviously don't remember correctly from what you guys are saying, it was a total 1 year rehab, and now it's clearly a 2 year rehabilitation. Is that my brain not working? You guys telling me that it was a 1 year deal to have a beer, or is that something I thought, or is that something you told me?
I think it was something you thought.
and gentlemen, make some noise for our brother, Mr. Kevin Pearce. It's because of all you, because of all what you've done. So you should be very proud of yourself, and thank you for all the love and support.
I'm Jamie Little, joined now by the man, Kevin Pearce. Hey, you're becoming like a veteran announcer now.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been awesome, you know. Can't snowboard, so I need to stay occupied in some way.
Well, we've watched Shaun White, of course, grow up before our very eyes here at Winter X Games. Shaun White is snowboarding with Tiger Woods, is golf. Oh, there's the double Nicky putting it down in the backside rodeo. My goodness gracious, what about that run?
Every single trick is a double cork or a 1080 or a 1260 or just something beyond belief. I mean, I was down and out for a year and none of that stuff was happening 2 years ago. And to come back and see how far the sport has been progressed in 1 year is just unbelievable.
Snowboarding is my true love, and it's really hard to understand why I would ever want to get back on a board after what I've been through unless you really understood the feeling I had for snowboarding. And it's just so exciting that I'm going to get back to it.
It was a couple years ago, you got a silver medal. I cannot wait to see you back at it again on the course.
I can't wait, man. Don't tempt me. I'll get back at it. Take him down.
Tired of this shit yet?
Oh, I'm so tired of this shit. Let me go party. I haven't got to do any fun shit this weekend. All I got to do is interviews the whole goddamn weekend.
Welcome back to ESPN 3D. I'm Jamie Little. Sarah Burke, she's going to come back for the Big Air Final.
It's pretty cool how skiers now want to be doing what all the snowboarders are doing in the half pipe, and it's cool to see that after we've followed in the skiers' footsteps for so long.
Kevin Pearce, you've been awesome. Congratulations, buddy.
There we go.
Everything. Thanks
Another
for your
great
insight.
night. Here we are. We're at my new house down here in Carlsbad, California, Southern California. And I just got this house right before my injury, and then I came back to life and don't remember getting it. And so it was very exciting when I came out here for the first time. And then I got my roommate, Haley, and she's really helping me out with just everything, just my whole life. I'm not really, it's hard to tell, but I'm not really ready or able to live on my own yet. Shoot, my meds don't have enough in them. Hey, Haley, you come in here real quick? I need you to help me out. I need more meds.
Okay.
Maybe that's first. Can I help you?
Hey, man, I was just calling to see if my prescriptions were eligible for refill.
You know what medication?
Yeah, I got Vimpat, Lexapro, and Lamotrigine. Do you think you go pick them up?
Yeah.
The Lamotrigine is the main seizure medication. I'm pretty sure the Lexapro is an antidepressant. I'm kind of bummed that I'm on the antidepressant, but because I feel like I'm not depressed, but I'm not the doctor.
To continue rehab, a bunch of deficits that I'm dealing with, whether it's my memory, my attention, the confusion I have so often, the fatigue, the naps I take every day, the impulsivity, the organization, the sensory overload. There's just kind of endless stuff that I'm dealing with.
We have some good thing going on here.
I have these full-on seizures that are happening in my arm, and the doctors have been very worried about it turning into a grand mal seizure because then the risk is falling and hitting your head.
Okay. After our visit, did you notice anything else about your vision? Or not really?
No, not really. To be completely honest with you, I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
And that's not good. What did you tell me?
I want you to tell me if the images are getting farther apart or closer together, okay? Look at the letter D. Do you see single?
No, it's two. It's above it.
So what we're going to do is surgery on both eyes. He has a lot of things going on. There's when he looks up, his eyes are shaking. When he looks down, his eyes are shaking. That's called nystagmus, and the surgery can't fix that problem. And because of the brain injury, his brain might have a little more trouble adjusting to the new position of his eyes, and it might be more difficult for his brain to fuse the two images. I think probably this is going to need to be more than one surgery. Because of the way that the eye was injured, it's not realistic to expect single vision in every direction of gaze.
What's happening for you, Kevin?
Just worried about so much, the smallest things.
In terms of having these worries that you won't be able to do something.
Just don't know. I just can't tell if it ever will be fixed.
When you say fixed, what do you mean?
Just not have to deal with it. Not have to worry about going and get gas and not being able to get it. It just feels like it's never ending. It's just like, will it ever end? It just feels like it never will. It's just part of the game.
You're in the recovery room.
Relax.
Kevin? Lay back, Kevin.
Lay back.
Thank you. It's over. It's done.
This young man was similar to you. He's a Boulder College student. Hi, Grant. This is Kevin Pearce.
How you doing,
Kevin?
dude? You hanging in there?
Grant's had an injury. His family's very involved. He loves snowboarding.
Oh, yeah?
He's a CU student, right?
You used to snowboard? Yeah, brother. Me too. Snowboarding's good stuff, isn't it? Yeah. You're looking good. You got a nice little bear there, dude. It's chill, huh?
It's hard for him right now. And he's just had some surgery, but he's going to get a lot better.
Nice, man.
You come see him in a year.
You stay positive, all right? Keep working hard, and you'll get better. That wasn't like that. That wasn't like that. Wow.
It's been 2 years. So let's go over this. The MRI. Right here, do you see this black dot right here?
Oh, yeah.
This is an area that has left a scar in that part of the brain. This affects your vision. It affects the left side of your body, your coordination and your balance. But also, that's why you feel so forgetful. That's why you notice your memory is impaired.
How much will those go away?
I don't believe these scars are ever going to go away. You still want to snowboard?
Yeah, I still want to snowboard. I want that feeling back.
Medically and neurologically, you cannot afford to hit your head.
It's interesting because I feel like I know so well what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing.
You do. And to know it and think it is one thing. To be in the moment and disconnect thought and action, that's a vulnerable area for your type of brain injury. And you take risks. You live on the edge. And that's where the high risks come. If somebody gets a concussion, they're 6 times more likely to get another concussion. And the reason is just because a person has some impairment in their abilities and their lifestyle's not made any adjustments for that, and accidents happen.
Don't get me wrong. I really appreciate everything that people do for me and all the support I have and all the help I've gotten from doctors, but it comes to the point where I'm just ready to release from it all. Just get me out of here. Enough's enough, and I feel like I'm coming to that point. And I feel like...
Looking at you. what your family's been through. This is what you think about. You use your intelligence and your love to make good decisions.
It doesn't come without injury. I'm 24 years old right now and I've broken, 23 bones.
A couple of years ago, I broke my back and shattered my pelvis. And I fell from like 45 feet. I completely blacked out halfway down. I woke up in the ambulance and they were like, "Jason, can you hear me? Jason." And I was just like, "My name's Mason."
As I fell 30 feet into a sitting position. And then my hips kind of shifted like this.
The worst crash I've ever had would probably be when I ruptured my spleen. I fell off a rail and landed pretty much directly on my chest.
Travis doesn't clear it. Watch takes it to the gut, but somehow drills his nose in to slow him down.
And I've hit my head plenty of times, and it trips me out. I mean, for me, I've had maybe 9 concussions. I've had plenty of crashes where I've cracked helmets open. I would have been dead if it wasn't for my helmet.
Hands, nose, ribs, back, surgery, shoulder, arm, knees, everything.
And you've bounced through so many things too, though, Sarah.
I've got real lucky.
It says war inside my head because I'm on 6 head injuries. Went from being normal Adam to severely depressed, severely anxious, bipolar, and alcoholism, chemical dependency. My memory is really bad, and my, the emotion regulation and judgment. So you see the guy fall, and he's laying there agonizing pain, and he wants help. The coordinator, they don't care. We don't have any kind of athlete insurance. Pretty much every other sport besides action sports get the treatment they need. Say I would have crippled myself tomorrow skating, I would be all out of my pocket. So it happened to Stephen Murray.
I didn't even know what quadriplegic was until I became one. They want to see people go out there and crash because the crowds get excited when people crash. That's what the crowd loves.
Dirt biking, I look at them and I think that's crazy, but I'm sure they look at us in the same way. Times when that 1% or that 5% chance happens and you catch your edge off the takeoff. I'm never coming back. I mean, what I've been telling myself ever since Kev got hurt was that shit happens. And there's just no apparent reason sometimes for it.
Well, we're here because we really want to talk seriously together as a family about the fact that Kevin feels like he's really ready to start snowboarding again.
I'll never forget when we got to the hospital. It was the one time I kind of broke down and felt sort of a deep sense of responsibility for what had happened. Because the pressure, once you get into it at that level, it's very hard to get out of it. I mean, you get caught up in it, and then there's the expectation, and then there's all the sponsors, and everybody's expecting and wanting you to do better and better and more and more. And so you push the limits, and the only way to be successful in that sport is to push the limit. Everybody's having bad falls, and it's just luck whether you have what happened to Kevin or you don't. So I think we should have a conversation with Kevin here. think, you know, we'll all have our own feelings about it.
In advice.
I do think if Kevin hears our feelings more than our advice, but I do think he cares about how we feel, because he knows how much we've been through with him.
Right, and love him very much.
And how much we love him, exactly. So I think if we can focus on our feelings, that probably would be the best thing.
Look at who is here.
Look at the new glasses.
Look, how are they feeling?
They're good. They're really good.
Wow, it is a family dinner.
Yeah, first Thanksgiving dinner of the year.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back, Poopy.
Welcome back, Kev.
Back from the dead.
I think the conversation needs to start with what your plans are about riding on snow.
How ready do you feel like you are to snowboard?
I feel 100% confident.
Not us.
Not you?
Not everybody.
Calling a spade, isn't it, Dave?
I just don't want it to die.
I don't want to die either, Dave.
I don't want it. I don't want you to die, that's one. And then number two is that I don't want you to be in a wheelchair. And that I don't want you to be paralyzed. Is that what you want?
That's not what I want. I think those are all things that I could have happen if I fall. If I hit my head really bad again. So
That's what I'm more scared about, I guess.
No. It was pretty scary.
And I don't want to go through that again. And I don't want you to get to risk.
You don't want me to? No. But that's the bottom line, and that's what it comes down to, is I'm going to snowboard again. But I have to do it so I don't get paralyzed and so I don't die and I don't get hurt.
I think you see what has happened to some other people who've had more than one TBI, and I think I was so surprised at Craig when they told me they do see people with a second one and a third one. I was like, I think I just never, I thought if somebody had one, how could they ever put themselves in a situation where they might have another one?
It's really hard for you guys to know, and I mean, it's unexplainable to say the amount that snowboarding does for me and the amount I love it and just the feeling it gives me to get to be on a snowboard. And I just feel like no one else in this room has that feeling about anything. Maybe Dad does about blowing glass, but it's so different than blowing glass because it's just...
You know what it feels like to me, Kev? It feels like an addiction. I mean, if I was smoking every day, you wouldn't feel good about me. And if I said, well, I'll cut it back to 1 cigarette a day, and then it would be 2 cigarettes a day, and you know, it goes, you know, you...
And when can you realize that you're clumsier? And for me, it's hard because I don't see your awareness.
See, and then that gets right back to my point that I've had this entire time, that you guys just have no faith.
Where this is coming from is that the more you had to deal with, the worse your tremors got. And it's when we jumped in, or Mummy jumped in, and made you rest more and take it easy and get more help, the tremors started to get less. So we let you go as far as we felt was really safe, because the tremors are not good.
You know, after I broke my back, I can't do a lot of the tricks I love, like that made it as fun for me. So snowboarding isn't as fun as it was. There's also the scenario where I just sent these guys a video of. It's a guy that had one, is a dirt biker. It was like, no way I'm gonna stop. I had a second time, not a chance I'm gonna stop. Third time, got another one.
Well, he's forced to retire. He said,
can't.
I guess I have to say I'm gonna retire.
Yeah, he can't.
But he can't
even say his name.
Yeah, can hardly talk.
How many professional football players that have had a traumatic brain injury go back and win the Super Bowl?
How many is it?
None. Never happened.
My sense about you is you just want to do what you want to do, and you have a lot of confidence in yourself. But I think we're all talking about this because we love you so much.
All of my brothers and my dad and myself are very dyslexic. School and just day-to-day life was very hard for us because of how severe our learning disabilities are. For me, snowboarding, I really found it as a way out.
Yeah, I need you to do it. This thing doesn't... You try and do it.
No, didn't make it. When you blew it up, you blew it so thin in the bottom. That's why I kept saying you can't blow it up too much. Because when you blow through, it blows all the glass out of the bottom. There's no thickness left. It's like paper in the bottom. In school, I was like a failure. And at home, I was a success. School was really hard, but my parents just believed in us, and my father never opened a report card. My philosophy was exactly the same as my father's. He really believed in the child's ability to know its boundaries. But after the accident, I felt very responsible. There's all the money involved and all the sponsorships. It wasn't just Kevin. There should be limits, I think, just like there is in car racing. And finally, they had to limit the size of the engines in the racing cars because people were killing themselves. And it's the same in the halfpipe. If you make the walls higher, which makes it more dramatic for the spectators and the television and the media, the athlete will go. I mean, he'll push it to the limits. It's in the athlete's makeup. I felt that at some level, we were all to blame.
Okay, so we need to finalize our plans for the day that Kevin wants to get back on snow for the very first time in 2 years.
Me and Adam talked about this earlier on. We said the 12th or 13th was going to work best.
I don't want you to just know about competitive.
You don't want that, Dave?
Not competitive.
Not yet. My amazing sponsors, they've stuck with me through this whole journey I've been on, and I got to make sure they all get the love. Whether it's Burton, Nike, Volcom, Amp Energy, Oakley, Friends, bam, baby. Yo, hey, do you know what stickers I need to have on my helmet?
Yeah, Nike gets a 3-inch wide sticker on the top half of a snowboard and on helmet.
All right.
Nike, according to this contract I'm looking at, is supposed to get a sticker.
Is that 3-inch? Yep. All right, cool. I got one. I'm putting it on.
For both snowboard and helmet. Yeah, and Burton gets one too. So it looks like Volcom and Oakley don't. Amp, Burton, and Nike do.
Okay.
What a day. Why aren't you wearing this? Can you put this on already? You're making me nervous.
We know that, don't you? This is the best.
Wow. I have thought for a long, long time that I'm in a dream and that one day I might wake up and this all might be over and it might just all be a bad, bad nightmare.
Feels like it'd be a miracle if my brain did heal back 100%, but there's been so many miracles, it's like, why would you not believe in that one?
I want to thank you guys for getting me back here and for making this possible. This is what we've been working on. This is better than anything I could have ever imagined.
Kevin Pearce is a miracle man.
Thumbs up. Let's do this, boys. Oh! I'm happy over there, We're so nice. I'm good.
I definitely fell a lot, but no, that's part of snowboarding. When I was a younger kid, I remember thinking that if something bad happens to me, I'm gonna be able to come back, and I'm gonna be able to come back really strong. And then it's like it happened to me, and it's weird to have thought that.
Stay with us, Kevin. We're here, we're here.
Yeah.
So how's it feel to be back?
It feels good. I'm lucky and I'm happy.
Kind of the ride of a lifetime.
I can definitely come back and win, and I know that, but it's not going to be easy. Nothing in life now is coming easy. And I used to do a lot better, but now I know that I can do it. I just got to fight a lot harder.
KP right before his first bank slalom.
Oh boy.
How you feeling?
Oh boy. I'm psyched. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. First contest back. Just over 2 years.
Just stay on those banks.
Yeah, KP. Racer ready.
Yeah,
3, 2, 1, go. Hey, Kevin!
My snowboarding is bad right now. It is really hard. I was bummed out and I wish I'd done well, but I definitely am not good enough and not in the place that I need to be doing really well in events.
Oh, people shout, people freak. I'm staring at the sea.
High Cascade Session 2. We're here, friends crews up here having a high ollie contest.
Is Kevin the same? He's not. He's not the Kevin before his accident.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. Oh!
Kevin freaking hit his head, and no matter how many years go by, it's like, I want to shake him. Kevin, wake up. You know, it's like.
What the hell?
It's definitely embarrassing for us sometimes to be out in public with Kevin. No offense, Kevin. But sometimes he'll just say something inappropriate, coming off as me, like too upfront and blunt about things. He was definitely the older brother. He was definitely my older brother and my mentor. And now it's the other way around.
I'm telling you, slower. I'm telling you, a little bit slower.
Yeah. Uncle Dan's telling me what
and
to do.
maybe, you know, don't ride that jump all the way out. Give a little, maybe.
Yeah, you want it all the way before.
The weather's pretty bad.
Yeah, Kev, big up.
Okay.
The bad voice in my head says, it's not going to end. I'm never going to be able to get rid of this pain. I'm not getting past this brain injury. It's not going anywhere. 2.5 years later, hearing that your memory's at a 4%, I'm not even close. The worst about me now is kind of my filter and how I come across in such a bad way when I'm really not meaning to be mean or negative. You know, I really want to be happy and I want to be positive, and I feel like there's times that, you know, it comes across that I'm not, and I just really hate that. My double vision is so bad. I'll go running on the trails out back and I will start running into stuff and I can't like see where these different trees are. I just feel like whether it's the NFL, skiing, snowboarding, skateboarding, just like all these different sports, people are hitting their heads and they're having serious repercussions.
Now to champion freestyle skier Sarah Burke. She is in critical condition right now after an accident on a training run left her with a traumatic brain injury.
It happened on the exact same course where snowboarder Kevin Pearce suffered a traumatic brain injury in 2009. This morning, Sarah Burke is in critical condition with her husband, Rory Bushfield, also a free skier, by her side.
The very hardest part, well, I guess was just getting the news. It was like, I just did not want to believe it. You know, I turned on my phone and I had a bunch of missed calls and a bunch of text messages, call me now, and it's all like the people that are with Sarah. I'm just like, no, and I call, you know. Felt like smashing my cell phone, you know. It was like, and then I just went as quick as I could down there. So I'm doing a alley-oop flat spin 540. It's one of the most beautiful tricks you can do in the half pipe, really. Well, I can't do it. It's like a super hard trick. She had it dialed. She'd done lots. She was skiing really well, landed one perfectly just before, like hiked up and went and then did another one, and just, I think she just maybe pushed off the wall a little too much, and super unlucky crash.
I talked to her mom when they were in the hospital, and I knew it was really, really serious. Same half pipe, same place. You know, and then I was like, well, why? You know, why would it turn out the way it does?
Common sense tells you that there's real risk here. When the sport first started, those courses that they were on, the top of those was only 6 to 8 feet high. Now it's 22 feet high. So you could be falling as many as 40 feet. You could reach speeds of 30 miles an hour. Now, recreational helmets will protect you up to about 17 miles an hour. But you know, as we saw with Kevin Pearce, he just went snowboarding.
Yeah, Kevin gives us great hope to saw him recently and to have him back. And as Sarah's husband Rory said, she is going to fight to recover.
We had a lot of hope. It was like a really slow process. And we were like all 100% sure, you know, like she would come through. It was like, it's Sarah, you know, it was just so tough. Yeah, and the doctors coming in, just the bearers of bad news, you know. I could tell right when the doctor walked in that day. He told us, I knew. I was like, yeah, that guy is not telling us good news. You know, like he didn't even have to talk to me. I knew. It was like as soon as he walked in. And it was hard to hear those words. So hard.
Sarah Burke, a champion freestyle skier who's been seen as an early favorite for a possible gold medal in the next Winter Olympics, has died tonight, 9 days after a training accident.
Snowboarder Kevin Pearce suffered a traumatic brain injury on the same course in 2009.
There's nothing mellow about the sports that we're doing and kind of the tricks we're doing.
Burke's family is said to be grateful for the support and messages honoring her. They are also dealing with the medical bills from the Utah hospital. Initial estimates put the cost of her care at more than $500,000. Many have questioned why Burke wasn't covered by insurance. The Freestyle Skiing Association says its coverage only applies to sanctioned competitions. But when she was injured, Burke was participating in an event for one of her sponsors, Monster Energy drinks.
Despite those concerns, this morning one thing is clear. No one is questioning the legacy of Sarah Burke.
And speaking of that legacy, thanks largely to Burke's efforts, freestyle skiing will be an Olympic sport in 2014.
I'd say we're mountain folk.
Where we met, it's where we play, we live, and
hopefully where we die.
Where we'll die. My dream was always to win the Olympics.
Sarah basically got girls into like skiing events didn't have girls. And you got them in. It's huge. It's so sick that skiing halfpipes in the Olympics. And you get to go.
Hopefully.
In Russia, it's awesome.
A light will never go out if it lights 1,000 more.
The action sports family recently lost a very cherished member, free skier Sarah Burke. It's been said that the brave do not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all.
I just feel bad. I mean, you get in a scenario where you see something unfortunate. It really shocks the community, and it puts this weird, strange light on the sport where people are questioning the safety of the sport. But you don't have to do what I'm doing to go have a good time. I don't sometimes like what I'm doing. I do it because I need the satisfaction and the fulfillment to make me feel better about myself, like I've achieved some new level that I never dreamed of. We make cars faster. We make trains faster. We innovate, we do that. That's just what we do. We want to create more. But that's why we do it.
So I've been doing these scans for a long time, and as I watch ESPN, you see the highlights, and then you see who got arrested that day. And it's totally connected to brain trauma. Your brain's involved in everything you do. When you hurt it, it hurts your ability to do everything in your life, especially control your impulses. So did I show you some of my NFL brains? So these are running backs. So look at this guy. So your brain looks so much better than this guy. Last time you said you can be a little bit irritable with others. How's that?
Still irritable with others, but I always have been for the last 2.5 years, so it's nothing new. It's nothing.
Is it different than before the injury?
You would say so. I wasn't as irritable, was I?
I would say it's different.
Do you start getting down on yourself and start getting into sort of negative thought patterns?
I was just thinking, like, not that I'm a failure, just like that I can do something so stupid so often.
So whenever you get the thought, I'm an idiot, you globalize it, and it totally trashes your self-esteem. Our goal is to get you to the best place you can be. It'll only happen if you have disciplined thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a little exercise with you. Okay, Trevor, touch your elbow. Where's your elbow? Can you touch it on your other side? Point to just your elbow.
Elbow?
Yeah, just your elbow.
This one?
Okay. So there's certain things that are a little off. For instance, the other day, Trevor and Peyton, who's Trevor's 12-year-old brother, they all went golfing, and they got a golf cart because, of course, Trevor has a hard time walking. And all of a sudden, snap, no control of impulses, and Trevor ran Peyton over on the golf course.
Directly over?
So here's Peyton, here's the golf course, whipped him down and ran over. The entire golf cart was over. And the craziest is that Trevor's facial expression was just like, yeah.
Just like, it was pretty funny. Yeah. It was classic. Just running over your brother in a golf cart. Just like cruising right over him.
Yeah.
These brain injuries are pretty crazy in the sense that, like, it's totally invisible.
Exactly. It is invisible.
Completely.
And the sad thing is I watched that day you went back and snowboarded again, and I wasn't smiling. I was crying because this second injury has not been fun. Kevin, you had a great life before, but you're given a totally different brain. And so you can't go back to who you were before. You have to go with what you have now.
And part of being here for me is for you to be able to hear what Tammy's talking about. Right? Because she has the experience, and Trevor does too, that we don't have.
And to this day, Trevor, what do you want to do when
Snowboarding?
Yeah. And where do you want to go?
Utah?
It has not been an easy thing because Trevor, what do you always tell me?
Shut up.
Yeah. I mean, when people are around, he talks, he communicates, but when it's just Trevor and I.
You gotta be nicer to Mom.
No.
Come on. Why not?
I don't know.
No, you should be nice to Mom. I know you're brain injured. I know what it's like to be brain injured. I'm brain injured. Yep. It sucks. Mm-hmm. But you can fix it. You can change. You can work on it. But being mean to them is not helping. Nope. It's not funny. Mm-hmm. I'm not kidding with you. Gotta help them out a little bit. And I know snowboarding's good, man. Snowboarding was awesome when we used to get to do it. But, you know, life's changed and things are different now. And it's the last thing that you ever wanted was to have a brain injury. Mm-hmm. And you did not want to screw this thing up like we did. Because mine screwed up too, man. But you gotta love it. You gotta realize that things have changed now. Yep. You can change this. You can get better. You gotta work hard and love them. Shit's gonna get better. Trust me. You keep working, we'll get better. All right. Got a good life. Got a good house. Got a good family. Got it all, man. Yep. It's no easy road to go down to try and get into that brain.
Right.
But
I do think he was listening to you.
I feel like it could be worth it.
Yeah.
I feel like I could change their lives, and that's been something for me about this. It's like, this has changed my life, and how I can help now change other people's lives. It almost could make it, you know, try and make it feel like it's worth it.
Right.
The wake-up call is just kind of like waking up and realizing that, you know, my life has changed, you know, that I'm brain injured, and, you know, that's kind of how things are going to be, and it's a whole new life for me. You know, I used to be waking up every morning in a new country, going to a big snowboard contest, and now it's waking up every morning and just being so happy to be here.
Kevin, I have a friend who had a water skiing accident that left him with a serious head injury, but your story has inspired him, and I just want to say thank you.
Kevin, for sharing your lessons learned, for your spirit to conquer adversity, and for personal triumphs, small and large. Thank you from Passages presented to Kevin October 10th, 2012.
Thank you so much. I used to win a lot of contests and I used to win a lot of trophies, and you know, since this I haven't won any trophies, so I got the feeling back. For so long, it's like you have that false reality, and it's like there's nothing telling you that it just can't happen anymore. And then, you know, it was really, I think, when I first got on my snowboard and first tried doing things, it was like, all right, you don't have it anymore. You've lost that. A couple of months after the accident, I remember so clearly being like, oh, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to ride in the Olympics. You know, I was in the hospital there for another 4 months. I was 2 years away from snowboarding, and I thought that I might be going to the Olympics. Like, I was so far gone, and like now I don't know how far gone I still am.
I think, I know that you're snowboarding now, but once you get to that level of doing double corks, then you have to accept no about doing the double corks.
David, he looks at pictures of you from when you first got hurt that he has on his computer, and he watches videos, and I think he gets...
Makes me cry.
Yeah,
It makes me depressed and cry.
Right.
Dave, I want to be there for you now, and I want you to be okay with it that I'm not going to do that stuff anymore. You know, I've understand that I can't do double corks. I've come to terms with the fact that that's not going to happen anymore. So you should try as hard as you can not to worry about that. You know, I think the hardest thing for me to come to accept, and you know, that I've been so fortunate because I have accepted, is how much my life has changed and just how different things are now and how different things will be forever.
So I'm curious, David, when you're listening to Kevin talk about that, if you could learn something about accepting your Down syndrome.
It's hard. I'm not sure if I can. But I would try.
Dave, there are definitely a lot of hard things in this. There's definitely a lot of things that aren't that good, but we have a lot of good things, and we got a really good family here to help us and a really good support system. You know, I think that's the biggest part, is to understand that things are different, but things are good and things are okay. So can you know that, and will you understand that I am going to be safe and I'm going to be able to make the right decisions and you don't need to worry about me?
I hope so.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, Dave. Do you feel like you're happy right now and things are going well for you?
What you just said to me about you're not doing that, yes.
What you said about him, about what he said that he's not going to do double corks.
Right.
That's making you feel happier in your life?
And not have me looking at the pictures.
Yeah, you know, I think that would help not to look at the pictures and look
Have a
at
picture of him how he is now.
Yeah.
That's what you want to picture.
You don't need pictures of where I was and remembering the old times. You need pictures of remembering now. We are about to feast.
I could cut it here.
My first carb. Dave, happy Thanksgiving. Kev is home.
One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. Little me and little you kept doing all the things they do. They never really think it through, like I can never think you're true. Here I go again, the blame, the guilt, the pain, the hurt, the shame, the founding fathers of our plane that's stuck in heavy clouds of rain.
Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old and think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be one day, baby, we'll be old. Oh, baby, we'll be old. Think of all the stories that we could have told. One day, baby, we'll be old.